Okay, we have a article here from a few days back regarding setting up trusts. I wanted to bring this to people's attention, um, and then, of course, bring to the final detail of the article, which is talking about inflation. That's really the key point of this article, so let's go right to it right now. So it says people are now setting up trusts to last hundreds of years so they can cryogenically freeze themselves. Article begins, it may be soon that the expression you can't take your money with you when you die doesn't ring as true as it used to. That's because the wealthy are now employing estate attorneys who are helping them set up trusts they can tap into hundreds of years later for people who are considering attempting to cryogenically preserve themselves, a new Bloomberg article revealed this week. Mark House, an estate lawyer, told Bloomberg the idea of cryopreservation has gone from crackpot to merely eccentric. Now that it's eccentric, it's kind of in vogue to be interested in it. An estimated 5,500 people plan for cryogenic preservation, with House having worked with about 100 of them. Steve LeBel, a 76-year-old retired hospital executive from Michigan, sees joining the roughly 500 already preserved as a dream. An avid hobbyist and writer of young adult fantasy novels, LeBel cherishes life and doesn't want financial barriers to impede a second chance. Bloomberg writes that LeBel plans to place $100,000 in his revival trust, with the remainder going to his daughter, her husband, and his foundation. LeBel said, I really want to figure out a solution, otherwise I'll be in there with my fingers crossed, hoping there's money left over 200 years from now to pay for the resurrection process. Which leads to our question, when the hell is anyone going to teach LeBel about the miracles of what inflation will do to that $10,000 over the course of hundreds of years? He'll be lucky to buy a Snickers bar with it in 200 years. A revival trust is a variation of the dynasty trust, typically used by the ultra-wealthy to pass wealth down generations. Both can help avoid the 40% federal estate tax on estates over 13.6 million, though investment gains are taxed and trustees charge fees. House requires a minimum of $500,000 in the trust to cover these fees. The key difference lies in the beneficiaries. House sees the revived person as legally distinct, since a person cannot be their own trust beneficiary. He appoints a trust protector to determine revival, avoiding legal complications. Bloomberg writes that revival trusts challenge laws against perpetual trust, which limit a trust lifespan to 90 to 100 years in many states. However, some states like Arizona and Florida allow trusts to last for centuries. This flexibility prompts people to consider long-term preservation. The uncertain future of trust structures is a concern. Changing laws in businesses pose risks. Estate planners emphasize the need for flexible, succession-oriented trust management. LeBel concluded, I believe the aging process is going to be cured. It's a disease. The technology isn't there yet, but I can bridge that time gap with cryonics. So the two main issues raised in this article, of course, number one is inflation, and the second one would be the evolving laws, state jurisdiction on what trusts are, taxes, who are the beneficiaries of the trust, who are the executors of the trust, how you cannot be on both sides of the legal structure of the trust, but that's open interpretation. But it's an interesting article because it's saying that what was once science fiction is now basically um, less eccentric. It's now, yeah, it's went from crackpot to merely eccentric, and now that it's eccentric, it's in vogue. But we wish these people luck, and we hope that the law is still on their side and inflation is also on their side when they unfreeze themselves. Wishing to share this article with all you guys. Wishing you all a good day.